Renting a car sounds like a shortcut. No maintenance, no wear and tear, and no commitment. But what if I told you the system is literally designed for you to lose? And, well, they win every single time. Now let's break this down from both sides, because most drivers, you guys only look at it from their side. And that's where they get burned. First, the driver mindset. You're going to hear things like this. I don't want to put miles on my car. I don't want the maintenance headaches. I don't have a qualifying vehicle, or I just want to try it out. And look, these sound reasonable, but the reality that nobody ever tells you is you're not avoiding costs. You're prepaying for them at a premium. When you rent, you're paying weekly whether you make money or not. You're paying during those slow weeks, bad markets, dead hours, everything. And here's the biggest mistake drivers make. They think renting removes the risk. It doesn't. It transfers the risk, and it increases the cost. Now let's flip this to the other side. That's the business side. Because the person renting you that car, they're not doing you a favor. They're running a business. And once you understand their numbers, well, everything else makes sense. Now let's use Uber Black as an example. These are Tahoes, they're Suburbans, and Escalades. These vehicles can easily cost $60,000 to $90,000. Now, the weekly rental, they're around $850 to $910 a week. Or they might offer you a split, 50-50, and sometimes even 60-40. They take the bigger cut. And the driver will look at that and think, man, that's expensive. Yeah, well, because it has to be. Let's break down what that owner is dealing with. They got high monthly payments, unless they paid cash, which most likely starting off, they didn't. They have commercial insurance, which is way higher than personal policies. Maintenance and repairs from heavy usage. Then they got to pay for permits, licensing, and registration. Then you have depreciation because, well, you're stacking miles fast. And, well, the risk because someone else is driving their asset. So when you're paying $910 a week, that is not random. That's what it takes for them to cover their costs, protect themselves, and still make a profit. And here's the part the drivers don't think about. If you don't grind that hard in that car, you're actually a bad renter to them. They need somebody who's going to drive nonstop. Why? Well, because that car is making money based on usage. If it sits, well, they lose. Now you're in a system where the owner needs high output, the driver is first forced to work more, and the costs are fixed no matter what. That's not freedom, that's actually pressure. And this is why renting never works long term. You're starting out every week in the hole. You got to earn back that $850 to $910 before you even make a dollar. That changes how you drive. You're going to chase bad trips, you overwork, and you accept garbage rides just to stay afloat. And meanwhile, the owner, well, they're getting paid first. Now let's address that big question. Is there ever a good way to rent? Honestly, not really. At least not long term. Because it has to be, for it to be fair to that driver, the owner would have to literally lower their weekly rate, take on more risk, and reduce their profit margin. And at that point, well, it doesn't make business sense for them anymore. So what ends up happening is this. Either the deal is good for the owner or it's good for the driver, but it's almost never good for both. The only time renting can make sense is short term. You're testing that market. You need temporary income or your car is down for a week or two. But as a strategy, it's a trap. And the truth is, the people who win in rentals are the ones that own the vehicles, not the ones driving them. So before you sign that rental agreement, you got to ask yourself just one question. Why would they give me a deal if it costs them more money? Well, because they won't.